AMC 10A 2018 Problem 5. Alice, Bob, and Charlie were on a hike and they were wondering how far the nearest town was. And each say a statement of how long or how far off they think they are from the town. And we're trying to find which of the following intervals is the set of all possible values of D, where D is the distance in miles to the actual nearest town. Now, this question is actually a very fun question. It just works your knowledge and it works your understanding of the question very deeply. So when Alice said that we are at least 6 miles away, let's not translate this into words. We want to translate this into math. So if we're saying that we are at least 6 miles away, what are we actually saying in terms of D? Well, we're saying that we must travel at least 6 miles or more away. Because if it's at least 6 miles, that means 6 miles is the minimum distance that we must travel to reach the town. So D must be either greater than or equal to the 6 miles, as according to Alice. But then Bob replied that we are at most 5 miles away. So what does that mean? That means the most miles that we can actually travel is only 5 miles. We do not need to travel more because 5 miles is the most. So D must be less than or equal to 5 miles. Now we're told that Charlie said, actually, the nearest town is at most 4 miles away. So, what does it mean to be at most 4 miles away? It means that we need to travel at most 4 miles, or that's the maximum distance that we need to travel to get it. We might even need to travel less. So, according to Charlie, he said that the distance is actually less than or equal to 4 miles. So let's plot this on a number line because we're dealing with one term inequalities. So if this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6, according to Alice, this will be from 6 with a solid dot all the way onwards to infinity. And according to Bob and Charlie, this will look like this. So it will go in negative directions of each other. But wait a minute, what does this question say? We're told that it turns out none, that's very important, none of the three statements were true. So every single distance, every single area that these arrows cover, the area underneath them cover, is false. So that means the area that is not covered by these arrows is the correct distance because all of their statements were false. So the only distance not covered by these arrows is the interval between 5 and 6 uninclusive. So therefore, we bring ourselves to answer choice D. So this just goes to show how important it is to truly understand your question. And as a restatement, for those who do not understand how I got this, it tells us that all three statements were false. So the area that these arrows cover, or all the numbers that these arrows point to, is a false distance that you must travel. And obviously, we can say that E is wrong because there's no way that you're infinitely far off from a certain town. If you are guessing, never guess E because that is straight off, very suspiciously, very incorrect. So, nonetheless, the answer choice is D because all of them are wrong. The only distance not covered will be the distance that's correct, the interval of 5 and 6.